Hello and welcome to a brand new month, the month for women, because it's breast care month and it's also my birthday month, so we can call it the Mapitso CBD month, and it's also a month full of opportunities. My name is Mapitso CBD with today's edition of JoyNews Interactive. You can join the conversation on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We're JoyNews on TV. The show is live from digital address GA0992539 in Kokomemle, Accra, and you can watch the show on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. Now, let's start from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has been told to expect resources after Martin Amedu complained about a familiar story of underfunding anti-corruption institutions. President Nana Akufo-Addo, responding publicly to the Special Prosecutor's public and official complaint, told Ghanaians in the US that efforts are being made to satisfy Martin Amedu. Very soon, all of you will see the office is functional, he assured, as criticism mounts against his government's perceived feet-dragging and fighting political corruption. You've been reacting to this on Facebook. Let's see what you guys have been saying. It's JoyNews on TV on our Facebook page. And the first comment is from Kojo, who says, did we need to wait this long? And he's asking the question, did we need to wait this long to provide resources for the office? And Ajak, who says, everything is coming soon for you. At Abdul Masin says, we hope it's not just a promise, Ghana boss. Let's go to Abbas, who says, who's asking, when was he appointed? Meaning he has not been working since, and has he been taking salaries? What else is corruption, if I may ask? Halakomi says, so Amedu's claim was actually true, and Anthony says, must Martin complain before the needful is done? And at Charles is asking, what do you expect him to say? Keep sending your comments on our Facebook and Twitter page. We're JoyNews on TV. But let's stay with government. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has rallied Ghanaians to sacrifice as the economy faces difficult times. Now, in exhortation at the Royal House Chapel in Accra Sunday, the Finance Minister conceded that times are difficult, but we need to look beyond today to get to where we want to get to. Now, what does that mean? It means we have to sacrifice, and when we're investing in our children, it is greater than the sacrifices we may be having. A lot of people had mixed reactions about this on our Facebook page. Let's see if we can get some of those comments. Now, at Promise says, you know, sacrifice and you're still keeping 111 ministers. Tell your presidents to cut off 11 ministers and use their salary allowances to sacrifice for the youth. Obeng Nketisia says, still 110 ministers. We are not motivated to sacrifice, please. Let's go to Yebwa Solomon, who says all government appointees should take the lead by sacrificing their salaries and allowances, including the president and his vice. Josh Twist says, wasn't the same thing we were doing in James Turner when these people discredited him and painted him black in the eyes of Ghanaians, and we're even better off then. Valanya Kotia says, God shall be our help and we shall overcome. Kwesi Ebenezer says, sacrifice to kill. We understand, so kill anybody and you'll see. And Amos Ansar says, is asking, so they knew about sacrifice and they made so much noise in 2016. Hypocrisy plus incompetency equals ... You fill in the gap there. Samson Idrisi says confession time, and at Kofi Salami says, at least tell your listening president to reduce the size of his non-performing government for a start. Let's go to Akwese, who says, useless leaders, God will punish you one by one. And Bern Anin says, you see your life. In your time, dear, people should sacrifice. Somebody's time, you described him as incompetence. All right, Yabo Solomon said all government appointees should take the lead by sacrificing their salaries and allowances, including the vice and the president and his vice. And at William says preparing here means getting ready to vote. Super incompetent government out. Let's go to Enoch, who says, when we are sitting on money, what's sacrifice again? We're only sacrifice in scarcity. Nasir Hassan says, times are hard. With 100,000 ministers, you want times to be soft? We have been duped, oh God. Prince Jeff says, he is one of our problems. And Francis says, what? An animal farm. Marcus comes in to say that always wasting time and resources on religion. Indeed, blind faith requires no thinking. Let's talk health now. The West Achim Municipal Assembly has passed a bylaw banning the use of lorry tires in the processing of meat for sale by butchers and slaughterhouses in the municipality. Any butcher who breaches the bylaw will be liable on conviction to a fine of between 50 and 100 penalty units, which is 600 to 1,200 Ghana cedis, or in default imprisonment to a term not exceeding 6 months or both. Now, the Assembly passed another bylaw to prohibit the use of passenger vehicles, including taxi cabs, for transporting dead bodies to and from hospital mortuaries. The bylaw permits only ambulances and hearses for transporting dead bodies, and drivers who breach that provision are liable on conviction to a fine of between 20 to 30 penalty units, which is equivalent to between 240 and 360 Ghana cedis. You've been reacting to this on our Facebook page. Let's see some of your comments. Mac Bill says it's a good move. Ghana shall prosper. And Kofi says it's a fantastic idea. Nasir Hassan says, Chale, but that means sweet. Oh. And let's see if we can get more comments from Owusu Jacob, who says not bad at all. And Lydia Owusu says thank you, Nana. And Ishmael August says it's a good move. We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we talk special assignments. Stay tuned. JoyNews Interactive with me, Mapita Sibidi. Now, there's a special assignment for us here at JoyNews, and it's titled Who Killed the Judge? Who Killed the Judges? It airs on the 2nd of October 2018 on this channel, DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144. You can also catch it on YouTube. We are My Joy Online TV. But here are excerpts of the documentary.
When the jailbreak came, the June 19th jailbreak, they came out, Tekpo and I think another person, they took part in another coup.
Who Killed the Judges? A JoyNews special assignment on crimes that shook the nation. Tuesday, 2nd October 2018 on JoyNews TV, Joy FM, at Dom TV, at Dom FM, and online at myjoyonline.com and multitvworld.com. Who Killed the Judges?
Matekwe did what I thought was most ignoble. I'd known Amatekwe as a very disciplined person, as a person who was not a liar, not a thief, a man who commanded a lot of respect, a very dedicated person. And for him to have been engaged in the misuse of soldiers, to do what he did when we came into office.
Sir, with respect, if I could draw you back.
Don't. I'm building it up.
the judges, a Joy News special assignment on crimes that shook the nation. Tuesday, 2nd October 2018 on Joy News TV, Joy FM, at Dom TV, at Dom FM, and online at majoyonline.com and multitvworld.com. Who killed the judges?
Now, you've been reacting to this on social media, both good and bad comments. Let's see if we can get some nice ones here from August, who says, it's a useless documentary. Why do you resurrect the story? And we've been getting quite a lot of that. But at Talman says, after 36 years, Brett has been accused for sexual harassment and being now prosecuted. And Jenny Paula says, please ask again. Douglas Dankwa says, history is history. It can never be buried. And Emmanuel Latte says, till date, Ghana knows its rulings, but it seems he's trying to pass the buck, passing the buck. And that's why it's relevant. We know the truth. And you believe history must not be visited? Evans German says, typical African. Now at Rust Rush says, what's the essence of the commission set forth in Kufuor's era? Simply trying to use this as a political comeback whenever the fools you played with in the past. And Maxwell Nyako says, I thought the National Reconciliation Committee ended everything, so what is this for? At Jeffrey says, what is the essence of this documentary? You're trying to bring the sad memories of the judge's family. And Kweku Tete says, we'd like to know who really killed our beloved. Justice needs to be served. James Williams says, this is not important. Nothing will be important to you, sir. Moreover, they happened to be your parents. If they happen to be your parents, will you say that? David Kwame Asante says, why do we resurrect the story? And Raymond will be telling us that. But Nika Nane says it's a useless documentary. James Williams replies to Nika Nane and says, you call it useless? If one of the judges happened to be a parent, will you sit there to say it's useless? And Nika comes back and says, James Williams, it's past and gone, bro. This doc will not bring them back. And Evans Kojo says, that is why we are where we are, past and gone. After 36 years, Brett is being accused of sexual harassment. Let's go. Okay, so we've read that comment from David, who says, why do we resurrect the story? And at Baba Daniel says, your special assignment should not be limited to or who killed the judges, rather extend it to include those who are dying slowly as a result of the tragedy of corruption and injustice perpetrated by duty bearers. Please, victims of abject poverty need your service to survive death than the dead judges. Now, let's hear from the producer, Raymond Aqua, telling us why we're resurrecting the story. He was speaking on the AM show earlier today with Mama V.
I mostly start by giving you some. I'm sure many in this country might have watched Sarafina, and to some that would be the only account of what happened in apartheid. I'm sure to some extent you have an appreciation of the Rwandan genocide. There are specific accounts of same in Rwanda that they watched. The Holocaust. It's also been watched by many because history, regardless of how not so nice it might be, ought to be put in the right perspective. Sure. 1, 2, so that you can learn from it, so that you are less likely to repeat it. Now, a very classical case is in mind. You see how the Supreme Court dealt with the Muntia 3? It was because the court was minded by a history, and this is the history. You see how it became a big issue that even those gentlemen, if they were minded that this is the history of the country, and this is how the judges could see their commentary, I'm sure they would have chosen to say it differently. That's how important it is. So to avoid comments like that, to avoid actions that are related to this, to put the institution of the judiciary and our history in the right perspective, so we inform that generation, and this generation is critical. Currently, those below 36, which is when this happened, 36 years, are the majority of the population we have today. They either were not aware, or were not born,
may not have heard.
Yes, may not have heard. A few might have read a few things about it. Some have gotten some distorted information about what really happened. This is a fine opportunity to put history right, first and foremost, and to make sure that we have a point that we start from learning on this important note. So this is the more reason why we are doing so. And again, media houses of repute do this because they settle matters that have been historically problematic.
True. True.
Raymond Aqua, the producer of Who Killed the Judges. Make sure to watch it tomorrow at 8 p.m. on all our multimedia channels. DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144. Also on YouTube, we're My Joy Online TV. Now, wife of Vice President, who's also a global ambassador for the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves, Hajia Mrs. Samira Bamia, has been honored as the African Woman of Excellence for her contribution to the cause of humanity. This follows the passionate drive she's undertaking through the Samira Empowerment and Humanitarian Project, SEHP. And SEHP is a not-for-profit organization established with the purpose of empowering the underprivileged in Ghana through diverse social intervention projects to improve lives. You've been reacting to this on Facebook. Let's see what you've been saying. The African Woman of Excellence Awards was organized. Okay. So let's go to Jude Philippa, who says, someone will say I'm against her honor, but let's tell ourselves the truth. What has she done to deserve that award? They know we love titles, so they will use that to keep our heads swollen. And at DeGeno says, I kept asking myself the same question. Well, he says, oh, wow. Joseph says, instead of letting our leaders know the cost of our Ghanaians' hardships, look at what we're doing, honoring them. And Palance Victor says, do you agree you yourself have your weaknesses and failures, right? Yet you're still wishing to be recognized for the little contributions or things you do. And Richard says, your good works will follow you whether honored or not. Fuseni Abu says, congratulations, Haja. We are pleased to hear the good news. Keep going. Allah will guide you and your husband through. And Coleman says, these people are always getting awards. I'm pretty sure Hitler won some awards. Peers awarding peers. President Kufuor even awarded himself. Okay, credibility of these awards must be established. Then we can see their true impact on our people. But congratulations. At Owusu, Jacob says, she is beautiful and nice to the position, but I am afraid they will be kicked out 2020 due to their poor delivery promises led by Nana Akufo-Addo. Collins says, when there is no good, bad is good. And at Al Hassan says, same trend as usual. They only get awards when in power, from Rawlings to Nana. And Sean Lalo says, what qualifies someone for such awards? Let's go to Kofi, who's asking for doing what? And Rita Magusi says, congratulations. At Lydia Usu says, wonderful woman, God bless you. And Prince Ford says, congratulations, madam. Let's do some sports. Ghana coach Kwesi Appiah has included captain Asamoah Gyan in his 23-man squad for the double-header 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Sierra Leone. Now, Gyan has not featured for the Black Stars since the 2018 World Cup qualifier against Congo in Kumasi last year and has been handed a call-up despite his lack of game time at club level this season. You've been reacting to this on our Facebook page, JoyNews on TV. Let's start with Enoch, who says, how will they be called when they're in a different party? And how can a whole nation's football future be left into the hands of an individual's personal feelings? Fuseni Abu says, taking back an old warhorse and leaving out the stallions, what a country. Obeng comes in to say that Kwesi Appiah is in charge, responsible and accountable to the success of the Black Stars. We should allow him to make his decisions. And Abby just comes into sigh. Ghana, we all day. And Alva says, that's good. And Samuel says, it's a panic call. It's been a wonderful, wonderful Monday edition of JoyNews Interactive with me, Mapita CBD. Remember to stay interactive with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are JoyNews on TV.